value into this show might as well be as the U.S. government. We do the bare minimum. We do the bare minimum on this show. I'm not going to even pretend like I knew the song that we were playing before because Joey has not sent it to me yet. Joey has one task: is to send me the music. And I'm not saying that
I have two tasks: keep track of our records, and give the song every week. I barely get the song, and I'm 7 weeks behind on the record. Sorry for anybody that actually is invested in that segment.
Who sets up the time. You're doing good, though. There is one thing. You're three things. The third thing, and you're doing pretty good. You actually beat me sometimes to the punch, is the outline. But, like, you're ready to go, and you give me all these stats in the outline. And I'm like, why is he giving me all these stats in the outline and never say it on the show? Because you're like, I'm like,
I know what you mean.
You're like giving me the book report, and I'm like, this is a great book report. Show it to the class, and you just completely botch it. And you're like, I'm like, what are you doing?
First of all, that's an interesting little slight dig because I would strongly disagree. I give out my own percent stats. I give you these winners in fantasy that come up and get you touchdowns, and nobody else will think you get you touchdowns. Ignore the Davis Millis of it all. Ignore that I recommended Jets defense last week. Ignore all of that because, like you said.
Yeah.
I have a great book report, and clearly you don't have 2 ears that work. You don't listen very well, but the viewers can tell you that I give a great book report every week that has paid for their homes, that has won them fantasy football league. So I'm sorry you don't.
Good thing I did not start the Jets defense. If I listened to you, because God Almighty, that is an L. If I ever.
All I ask for you as a partner is just to listen to your co-host. I mean, let's be honest. The primary.
If I listen to you every single day of my life,
70% here, 30% over there, and listen. All I'm asking for 30% of effort from you is to listen with those 2 years God gave you, and you don't do that. That's what happens. I say, especially since we've been doing the Skype podcast. Here's what happens. I go ahead, I do my segment, I say my piece, and you know what automatically happens, people? You probably notice this if you watch on YouTube. Boom. Video camera goes off. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's jerking off in the bathroom. We know
you know what I'm doing.
Hold himself wrong. He got his finger up his butt, but he's not listening to me.
Your facts is like Max Kellerman, and I'm not saying that as a diss. I'm just saying you just love to rouse the crowd. You love to just like be the entertainer, and sometimes we just need facts, Joey. We don't need to hear we don't need to hear the rah-rah speech in the back. We don't want to hear about you and how you have a love obsession with certain players. Like, we understand you love certain players. I love certain players too, but I'm not over here giving a rah-rah speech for Patrick Mahomes every time he throws a pass. Like,
you clearly abandoned the person that you argued for, that you stood with. You're clearly off your game today because you're digging yourself already.
There is a reason why I'm the people's champ in stats, and you're the people's champ.
Listen, I know you made a rough trade this week. I know you're bearing yourself a lot.
It's not rough. Actually,
you're in panic mode.
Antonio Brown hurt, by the way. We'll get to it. So Godwin back in it, and Chase Edmonds, his shares have been going up, and I got McKissick for Gibson just in case he gets
Damian Harris the only thing to believe, Najee Harris the only thing to believe in. It's tough. No, I get it. It's rough if you're Michael.
The Steelers, are we talking about the Washington football team who went to the red zone 15 times, never punted, and only came up with 10 points, and was the first team in NFL history to go to that red zone that many times and not score? Because
wait, there's something you got to do. Why don't you go ahead and do
the broken men could do that?
Why don't you be a proper host? Because, again, as we already mentioned, you don't listen well. You're a terrible father, as we mentioned in past weeks. You will be a terrible father. But let's talk about, let's introduce the show. Let's do your job.
As Osama bin Laden in the cave.
Have the same. Are we a show? Welcome to. Welcome to Face of the Franchise. I have, of course.
Your Wi-Fi messed up again. But welcome to Face of the Franchise. I am your co-host, Michael the Pharaoh Shanuti, and always to my front is the co-host with the gift of gab, Little Joe Ooh. Guys, we have a great show this week. The biggest thing is we're at the halfway point of the season. Life is moving quick. We survived by Mageddon, and no week would be greater than the trade deadline coming up. And our favorite guy to talk about is Deshaun freaking Watson. So
before we get into that, I did want to start the show off the top of the show with a little Joe rant, if you don't mind. Something that I was remiss not to mention last week.
Let me set up the scene. So last week we were kind of in a rush, as everybody knew. We did our first Friday show in a while. Nothing wrong. Joe's okay. I'm okay. Everybody's okay. But we missed something very big, and this is something we both agreed on, that if we were in the right mindset, might have taken 30 minutes of the show. So, Joe, you have 5 minutes. Go off, King.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, like as Newt said, just kind of as a little bit further prelude, not that it's needed, obviously, as you know, we missed a week due to some family emergencies I had going on. I appreciate y'all being understanding with that. Was further distracted by things going on with something that I consider my second family and my team that was really, really hurtful, and I did not want to address those things that was going on with my team, as I was upset last week with still dealing with my personal family emergency, as well as I just did not want to address right away, as Nude said, for fear of it being the whole show of what happened. And we have a little bit more precedent into it now going in, obviously, what dropped this morning and last night, and Roger Goodell's comments last night. So a couple things on this. Number one, last week you have Sean Taylor's finally the retirement of his jersey, which felt more like a theme week that was set up to distract you. A long overdue momentous occasion that should have been was more set up like a theme week to distract you from the obvious that was going on in the news and the sacrificial lamb that we've already discussed that Dan Snyder did put up. And that was Sean Taylor's jersey retirement. It was despicable. I don't want to get too personal about it now. As Newt said, I got 5 minutes here. I'm going to limit myself to 5 minutes, but it was just extremely hurtful. It literally felt so disrespectful. As someone that's been a fan for 28 years, it felt like a fuck you. It was something, again, that I already stated was long overdue, was treated as a mockery, as a joke. It wasn't mentioned until the second quarter in the actual broadcast of the game, which I just, again, was personally insulted by that as well. You can say whatever the fuck you will in the mockery that was made with Jackson Mahomes. With all that being said, the biggest thing here is that it was done because, like I stated, the glaringly obvious of trying to cover up and distract from what is there, and that is, once again, Dan Snyder and the owners, the guys that cash the checks, are getting away with it again. Roger Goodell basically said in his statement, Nude, that we feel that he has went ahead and he has paid for what he has done, that he has already taken the exact quote here. I want to get you the exact quote. Michael Farashanuti, my fellow co-host, is this, and that was, we're very, as you know, I'm pulling up the article here, but we're very conscious of making sure protecting those who came forward. Goodell said after 6 hours of hotel meetings in Midtown Manhattan, that was a very high priority. I do think he's been held accountable. Goodell said of Daniel Snyder, more importantly, steps were put in place to make sure it doesn't happen again. Newt, are you aware of these steps that were taking place? Do you know what it was?
Zero. No.
The steps that were taking place is that Dan Snyder had to pay $1 and a fee. And by the way, for those that use that, it sounds like a lot of money. He is worth $4 billion. Let's go ahead and do the math there. Face of the franchise listeners, he is giving up 0.25% of his net worth. And again, for someone that created a culture of toxic discrimination, of based not only women, not only against other races, but anyone that worked there was basically told, do not make eye contact with him. You're not allowed to go in the restroom during the same time as him. He's treating his employees like they are transactions, like they are escorts, like they are basically his toys and his objects. And he's getting 0.25 of his net worth taken, a slap on the wrist, and still is the owner. You can say what you will for the, with all due respect to his wife, but for essentially the kind of, just mascot-like the representation that she's currently having, with all due respect to who she is, a person. I don't know her, and I'm sure she is a very smart, capable woman that is capable clearly of running a team and doing a good job of resetting the image. But we know what it is here. We know who's still the man behind the helm. We know who's still controlling it all. We know who's still the Lord Sith of the worst run organization in sports. And that is all I simply have to say on this rant. I think at this point, I mean, it's impossible. I can't give it up. I don't know how else to compare it, but the mentality of the cult-like mentality of me. I was brainwashed my whole entire life. I have love for the team. I don't know how to give it up. I cannot give it up. But this is the most disconnected I have ever felt from my team in my whole entire life.
Well, I mean, just to go back to the Mahomes thing a little bit, I mean, whatever that kid does, I mean, it's a non-news to me because he's a piece of shit, and he does this shit. I mean, you saw what he did to a Ravens fan talking shit to him, threw water at him. He's just a guy who's running cloud against his brother. Now for the Washington football team itself, I mean, they said Sean Taylor's retirement was in the works for a while, blah blah blah. So why did you push it up? If that was the case, like, I mean, some of his family members didn't even know until a couple of days beforehand. So it was all a cover up to do it. And then they had their sacrificial lamb and John Gruden. And Mike Davis had a great point today. He said, yeah, I think there should be a full report. I mean, it was his coach. Like, not excusing John Gruden from anything from this. I'm just saying, if you have a sacrificial lamb in John Gruden, then
Mike Davis in his backpack and his classic bowl cut, looking gorgeous as ever. Yeah.
Not in one picture I've seen him, like, that man looked like an old geezer and a 5-year-old child at the same time, which is weird. I couldn't get the image out of in my mind, but just
beautiful human being.
Because if we could be on this topic for hours, but I mean, until the NFL takes accountability for this and why they only prosecuted John Gruden. I mean, they didn't really do anything to John Gruden. They basically let the Raiders take care of it, but the Raiders had to do something about it, kind of thing. It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. And then it's like, at this point, like, I don't know, like, the Washington football team, I feel like, is getting a pass for something they shouldn't get a pass for. And I don't know. I'm with you. I'm not a football team fan, obviously. So, but if I was a fan, I'd feel the same way as you. Like, this is my team. I'm still going to stick with them. Still like the players. Ron Rivera is a guy you root for, but the organization itself and Dan Snyder, I'm not rooting for him, and I hope he gets fucked every which way. And Jeff Bezos somehow takes over the team, and we have Amazon Prime Stadium in DC. So
there's certainly a chance to that. And one last thing I'd like to add: you mentioned the Mike Davis kind of coming out and commented on it today. There was also
Mike Davis. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but there was a 2-page letter that came out in response to Goodell's comments from the two lawyers of 40 of the women of allegations of sexual assault while working in Washington. And those lawyers are Lisa Banks and Deborah Katz. And basically, I won't read the whole entire letter, but the summation of it, Nude, was this. While many who came forward feared retaliation by Dan Snyder and therefore requested their names be kept confidential, they never envisioned that all their efforts and the efforts of Beth Wilkinson and her team would result in no written report of findings and no real accountability for Dan Snyder or the Washington football team. Had they known this, they would have not participated. Furthermore, the last part I want to read here. Goodell misrepresented the wishes of our clients and likely those of other women and men who came forward to justify your decision to bury we know would be a damning report. Your continued refusal to produce the findings of the investigation, ignoring the repeated pleas from those who put themselves at great risk to participate in the investigation, suggests strongly that it is not they who you are determined to protect.
I mean, it's just all... I mean, we all know
said it better than we.
Like, at the same time, like, I don't know, man. It's a very damning thing for the NFL. It's a damning thing for an organization that pride themselves on integrity and all those different things. And now we're here. So, I mean, from one thing to another thing that is damning.
From one scandal to another scandal.
But this is not. This is crazy because, like, according to the Miami Herald, Deshaun Watson is a Dolphin. Like, they're agreed. The terms are agreed. Like, everything is good. But wait a minute.
Yeah, of course, strong words there. According to the Miami Herald, take that to what you.
Wait a minute. Like,
all due respect,
they have everything in place, but there's two things that the Miami Dolphins are waiting on: legal action and suspension. Now, obviously we knew that was going to come because no team would ever fucking trade away all those picks and all those players or whatever the deal is for a guy who's not going to play for however many games. So whether you want to say something or not about Tua, I'd rather have Tua than a bench Deshaun Watson, clearly. So it's all hearsay at this point. Like this whole thing about like the Panthers not being involved, Washington football team and being involved, trying to get Tua, it's all nonsense. Until I see the word trade, quote unquote, I'm not even going to worry about this anymore because Tua is saying the same thing. Tua is like, I hear the rumors. My agent will let me know if I get traded. My agent will let me know if Deshaun Watson comes here. And Flores is doing the greatest thing Flores is doing the greatest acting job of all time. We want to keep Tua. We want to do this. We want to do that. Yet everybody's talking about this Watson thing, and everybody knows you're going after Watson. So stop bullshitting and let us know you're going after Watson so we can just move on with our lives. So.
Yeah, I'm not going to address this any further until there's like confirmed, because there's also rumors that Deshaun's going to the Panthers. So who knows at this point?
No, the Panthers are
they officially out?
Officially
As
out.
of this morning, they were still in.
The only team that he said he waived his clause for, his no trade clause for, it was for the Miami Dolphins as of now. So the Panthers are okay with Darnold. They're okay with doing that whole song and dance for this entire year, whatever. So.
All right, we'll continue down the Darnold dance. I'm not going to comment on this any further. I don't really care that much until there's actually something proof there. It's obvious, like you said, they want to get rid of Tua at this point. They've literally, I think, offered him to every team in one way or another. So I think Tua is ready to get out of there. Flores wants him out of there. And you're down in Miami, Deshaun, where they're definitely willing to look past those 22 allegations that I guess now are
like
dropped.
I said,
whatever.
If there's one place that you could go to with those old allegations and not worry about it, probably Miami. Like Miami is.
Miami is the cocaine capital of the world.
Miami's Sin City. I know Vegas is Sin City, but Miami's actually Sin City. Like
for lack of better metaphors.
Yeah,
Miami is Sin City, baby.
Well, no, at this point, like there's not a lot of news going on. We'll get into a trade that happened that really, in my opinion, doesn't do anything but just gives another team some insurance, which is nothing. So other than that, let's just go
I did want to ask you, there are some rumors swirling around. The deadline is coming up before we probably record our next show. Is there anybody you see going? Is there anything else you're hearing that could be interesting? I'm still hearing rumors of Allen Robinson to the Ravens. What do we think there? I'm hearing a little fun Xavier Howard rumors still. Is the Dolphins going to go on a fire sale this week? Who knows? Are they going to pull a Nationals in July? Baseball fans love that reference right there. Are they going to go ahead? Are they Brandon? Even though there is somebody else the Texans got rid of today, there's still Brandon Cooks rumors to the Packers, especially now with the COVID committee down there in wide receiverville for the Packers.
I don't know exactly who is up for the trade deadline, but I will tell you three teams on each side, buyers and sellers. So on one side, it's definitely going to be the Raiders. I mean, they didn't think they would be at this position being number one in their division. So they probably want to do more on the defensive side. Probably Xavier Howard, like you said, maybe get a pass rusher who's available, anybody at that point, and maybe another weapon to go with Darren Waller. I know Ruggs has been doing well. Edwards has been doing well. And the Zay Jones experience is doing well. So, but they might try for something.
Can we give love to Hunter Renfrow for Pete fucking sakes? Can somebody please acknowledge he's getting targets and catching said targets?
Hunter Renfrow. God. Sorry, Jesus. Hunter Renfrow.
The trash kid never just throws aside. I'll adopt you, Hunter Renfrow.
So, and then
if somebody would have adopted Joe and you, if someone would have just adopted Joe and you on Netflix, check it out if you guys haven't seen it, maybe he wouldn't have been a serial killer psychopath. But no one could have adopted Joe.
Comparing a psycho killer to a slot receiver. This is the kind of content. This is the content people came in for, and they're leaving because of it, kind of thing.
It's 100% what they paid for, and if they keep going ahead and they treat Hunter Renfrow like this, Hunter Renfrow will become the next Joe.
All right. Well, to move on to the next
two, not Joe on you.
The Packers definitely buyers of a wide receiver. They want to keep A-Rod, and the only person they have worth a damn is Devontae Adams. So they probably need to add some more weapons. And then the third team, which is a surprising team, but a team that needs to bulk up a little bit, is the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs needs to fix that defense as much as they can.
You've been watching football this season. It's not surprising.
It's not good, and their time is fading away. So I can see them going after a running back with Marlon Mack as well. So Marlon Mack is a name to keep an eye on. David Johnson, another name to keep an eye on. I know they gave away Mark Ingram. That's the big trade news. Brandon Cooks, and man, the defense.
You got it. You recovered, baby.
The defensive players out there is crazy. Like, you could get somebody for cheap and somebody behind who's not doing very well. Like, Jalen Smith was a clear story with the release from the Cowboys, and he went to the Packers and now is doing well. So there's a lot of people, and then the sellers, of course, the Texans, Jets, and Lions are all in the seller position because they're in the cellar, so they're sellers. So
news classic bit of the week.
There you go.
Listen, buddy, I appreciate that. I think it's what it is every single year. You're gonna have teams that make the fire sales. You're gonna have teams that need to fill in that spot to make their playoff run and push. I don't think there's going to be anything too exciting that drops off that makes a huge impact, really, besides maybe that Deshaun Watson trade. But, Nude, let's do what we do so well every single week, buddy. Let's give the people a little Week 7 surprise disappointments and games of the week.
All right, so we're going to do something a little differently. We're going to do our surprises. Huh?
What are we doing?
We're going to do surprise game of the week and disappointments. But first things first.
Why are we switching that up?
They'll find out later. But first, let's do our surprises. So my surprise this week, just because Joe picked all the good games, I was left with the shit. So
the punch fucking do it to me every week. I let you usually beat me to the punch. I wait till you text me. I'm finally texting you first. Go ahead.
That's fine. I picked the Falcons and the Dolphins. Why did I pick this game? It was surprising. It's one of those games that was that you're like, oh, this is gonna be a horrible game. Surprisingly good, and had some good players in it that emerged. I mean, Kyle Pitts showed why he was the 4th overall pick. He became really good. You saw the reemergence of Calvin Ridley into his form. I know he only had like 4 catches, a touchdown, and 66 yards, but the guy's getting more target share. He's coming back to life with Kyle Pitts taking some of the double teams away. Yeah, Cordell Patterson has been a stud somehow in his 8th year as a breakout
top 5 running back in the league somehow.
So and the guy that
exactly number 5 in fantasy,
and the guy who is being time after time discussed in these trades, threw for 4 fucking touchdowns and kept the Dolphins in the game. Tua, he was a mastermind. I mean, you could see that Jalen Waddle is going to be good. You see this man Gesicki finally showing his athleticism at the tight end position. Running backs, they're using Gaskin now in the passing game. Defense.
Gaskin has refilled on gas just a little bit, thank God.
And you looked at it, it was like a bad game that became really good in the sense of scoring, in the sense of playmaking, in the sense of 2 quarterbacks basically buried. I buried Matt Ryan. I buried Tua. Both of them came out slinging, and they are streamable options this week. Streamable, and maybe you think about it, like the Falcons are playing the Carolina Panthers. Tua is playing the Buffalo Bills. Bills is a great defense, but Tua is going to score 2 touchdowns at least with how he does. He's a gunslinger. He's going to throw the ball. And it's going to happen. So I was just more surprised with the performances and surprised with the playmaking than anything with this game. So
yeah, no, it's definitely an exciting game, man. It was honestly one of the better games of the week. Like, we were both dead wrong on that over. Shocker there. You got the rookies that came out and kind of you've been waiting to do their things that Pitts has been doing his thing last couple of weeks, and they're really shining and getting consistent now. I love what I see in Matt Ryan trying to continue to find his fountain of youth as well, do his thing, still looking great. Again, Cordell Patterson, as you said, rejuvenated as a whole new man. Congratulations, hat and bald spot literally off to him. There you go. And it's been impressive to watch, man. Dolphins, you're still a runaway train to hell. That's why we love you. That's why we love Miami. listen, I'll still ride you to the grave. I'll ride that train to hell with you. I am there for, I guess you're now relabeled by Michael the Faroshanidi, so it means we're officially relabeled as Sin City. So I am down there to ride the cocaine party with you. Great job, Miami Dolphins. Great job, Falcons, this week for actually giving us one of the few entertaining games of the week. My surprise game of the week is Bengals and Ravens. It's Bengals and Ravens. Nude, be aware there is a new king in your league. It is the Bengals.
But I said it. But I called it, and you didn't want to listen. You didn't want to listen. I said it. Listen. Go ahead.
Said I didn't listen. I agreed with you all the time. We were on the same. That was a Nude and Joe same page. Bengals. Do not tell me we both did not have. Did we both have money line last week or not? Do we not both have the dog money line last week?
My point was, when they played, who was it? The Green Bay
Packers?
Bengals all year. No, you weren't on Bengals all year. Shut the fuck up. You're like,
you were not on
the Bengals all year. When you lost to the Bears, I'm the only one who said that was. You have to always look at the revenge game. That was an Andy Dalton revenge game against the Bears, and the Bears killed them.
When you hear me talk in that gambling corner, I am giving you the advice of my life.
Joey, nobody knows what you're talking about with this internet.
And you go back and review. I list when
nobody
I finally
knows what you're talking about with this internet.
I guarantee you, I
barely know what you're talking about.
Bengals every single week I picked.
Go. Finish your tirade on this game.
No. Continue. You had a little thing. You interrupted me. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. We're going to have a go-ahead off. Go ahead.
Fine, I will go ahead since I was rudely interrupted by my 30% co-host. So with that being said...
Get a better Wi-Fi connection. Go.
I know, right? I'm working on a booster down here.
God damn it.
And my booster in general. Anyway, with that being said, With that being said, Bengals looked fantastic. Joe Burrow is legitimate. You've seen the clips this week of him getting sacked by the Eagles back in our pandemic bubble year, and him going like, they'll call that. I'll get that call when I go ahead and I'm the GOAT. He's always had this mindset. What's new? Welcome to the land of Joey Burrow. This is just what Joeys do. This is what we've always been born for. It's what we're bred for. But more importantly, Joe Burrow is a top 5 performing quarterback in the league right now. In my opinion, he has looked excellent, and you can go ahead. I know we're a couple weeks off Justin Herbert. He had the bye week. He had the 3-point week, but he's playing towards that level. Joe Burrow is looking disgusting. Jamar Chase is a king. For anyone that was going ahead and buying in all the, he's dropping the passes, and he's a dud, and and the guy I continued to mentioned this show and said, if you listen to my rant, which I did have a rant about Jamar Chase and why I thought he was going to be a great fantasy player at the beginning of the season, and I was trolled because of that. You guys can all now eat my ball sack. You can eat my ball sack after a 30-mile run. That's right. I do those because I'm in excellent shape, and I am a dog just like I am a fucking goddamn grinder just like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. 200 yards. Shout out to Jamar Chase. First rookie to ever do it. And Ravens, hey, listen, tough game. You have an off game. I'm not off you guys yet. There's clear 2 front runners in the AFC North that clearly are dominating the league, and then there's people that are just rebuilding and hoping for the best next year. Those 2 teams that are dominating the league.
I love how he's taking
dominating the AFC North right now. Are obviously the
organization is the worst in the business to do it. I love how he's taking ricochet shots when all I've been doing here is sitting here, and his team's over here having allegations up the ass and going into red zones.
I addressed that, and I appreciate you took me seriously and didn't turn that into a bit. You disrespectful
child. Who goes to the red zone 15 times and gets 10 points? College teams. Penn State does.
Hey, listen, I believe we're bringing a professional on here that knows how to have a conversation. So why don't we hurry up? You get through it, and we can get to him.
I love how people are saying rebuilding when you're over there talking about some defense that was supposed to be tops in the league, and over here getting fucking chopped up like it's hibachi grill. Like,
hey, I can't help if they got big head syndrome, and I fully admitted that, and I've been on it the whole entire time. I'm sorry, some of us can't face and realize the only decent thing they got going is Najee Harris and a quarterback that's trying to
we're only
hold on to glory for the last decade. He hasn't had it.
We're only a game behind. We beat the Browns. We're right back in it. What the fuck you want us to do? We beat the Browns this week. We're back in it. That's it.
I'm not denying that.
Have no hope.
That both people in our organization should be in jail. There's no denying that. We can't deny that. There's 2 guys clearly, one from both organizations.
You guys for jail for sexual assault, and then our guy in jail because
jail for sexual assault.
He's fat. He's fat. You go to jail because you're fat now. So okay.
I think that's a good mutual ending right there.
Game of the week. Because like I said, Joey picked the best games.
Wait. Game of the week. Yeah, that's right. See, OCD.
Game of the week.
Sorry.
The game of the week I picked because why not? Another shitty game that turned out to be kind of good. I'll take it. Fucking the Saints and the Seahawks. Geno Smith and Jameis Winston. So when people see rain, they think, oh, the ball is slippery. The ball is wet. Let's put some gloves on. Like Carson Wentz, like Jimmy G in the Sunday night game. No, these two idiots, these two morons say, no, the gloves will fuck up my traction on the ball, and I love the feel of the ball, and blah, 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 and throwing this and throwing that. And the biggest bomb by the Monday Night Crew, and I think it's just hilarious. Like, they are just shitting on both these quarterbacks. Is their record is the equivalent record to the University of Massachusetts football team. Like it's like one win.
That's
in
an up-and-coming program. Come on now, they're doing their
3
best.
years.
UMass is doing their best. Slow down.
Geno's over here missing wide receivers. Kevin White was in the game.
Bet against UMass, it's a lock all week. God. It's just every Saturday.
That's why this game is the game of the week to me, because it was two of the shittiest quarterbacks I could have ever imagined to take the helm of two great offenses, shitting everywhere. and another thing that made it game of the week is Kevin White showed up out of nowhere. Kevin White had more targets than anybody on that goddamn field. Joey, if I told you Kevin White, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and let's just say some random receiver insert here.
Callaway.
Yeah, Callaway. Who would you think would have more targets? Probably DK, Lockett. You might pick Callaway.
Even Callaway.
Kevin White had 5 targets, 6 targets.
That
man will not go away. Why is this man still here?
See, people don't understand what truly great football is. And let me tell you what my partner and why I continue to do the show week in and week out with him, because he recognizes what a truly classic, truly divine game of football should be, a masterclass in football should be. And that was 100% Saints and Seahawks.
I'm watching and I'm crying. I'm crying laughing that this is actually football. This is professional football. Like, the only person worth a damn on that goddamn field was actually 2 people. 2 people were worth a damn. DK, I don't know what. Okay, whoever game plan it was to throw DK the ball only twice that entire game. One thing for a long touchdown, by the way, and they stopped throwing it to him, and it's just ridiculous. And then Alvin Kamara. You can say whatever you want about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is the best football running back now till the end of the time, whatever. Mm-hmm. Alvin Kamara, if you take him off the Saints, they win 0 games. They win 0 fucking games. This guy was catching. This guy was running. At one point, I thought he threw the ball. I was like, Alvin Kamara has to throw the ball. Like, there's no other way. Alvin Kamara is the only offensive weapon. They need Michael Thomas more than I need oxygen to breathe. And it's clear as day that Jameis Winston, this project of Jameis Winston is just a year thing, and they're going to probably make the playoffs somehow. I don't know, because the defense is good. The defense is good. But Seattle, man, you're so lucky you have a hardo like Russell Wilson doing pregame warmups and being shocked that the camera caught him doing hardo shit. Like,
that's he's getting me.
He's definitely coming back in week 10. Everybody's like, oh, they'll leave the door open for him week 10. No, he's coming back in week 10. That's what the doctor says. That's what his hardo ass is going to do. Try to make a run. Probably too late by then, because they'll be like. This will get
Pete Carroll to finally give him some respect, because he sees what the difference is without Russell, and it's not pretty. The Seahawks are a legitimately god awful team. If it wasn't for Russell Wilson, if you didn't already know that, it's on display now.
He finally
learned that. I think at least from this game.
He finally came out. Pete Carroll finally came out. Thank you for reminding me. That's also the reason why it was the game of the week. He said, if there was no Russell Wilson, I would have been fired a long time ago. Fucking thank you. That's what I've been fucking saying. Like,
I missed that, so I'm happy to hear that. I totally missed that.
I am so happy that he realizes that because of him, and I'll add these 2, Marshawn Lynch and fucking the Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
After that, your team is shit. I mean, the Legion of Boom is gone. Marshawn Lynch is gone. What do you have left? You have Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's the only reason why you're still competitive.
You hand it to Marshawn, you have 2 Super Bowls in a row.
Thank you, God, for this Monday night game. We have another good one in Kansas City, New York, and it's probably going to be my game of the week next week, because it's going to be funny as fuck watching Daniel Jones somehow become the best quarterback of all time, because that's just Monday night this year. Random shit happens, and I'm elated.
These dumpster fire games of the week are literally turning out to be masterclasses in football that I can't wait to watch every single week. I am just jealous I wasn't able to be part of that game. I should have been part of that game. I definitely could have been on one of those teams. But my game of the week, dude, is just had to give some love because we are obviously doing our disappointment out of order here, and that's more the main show. But because of that, I wanted to give my game of the week love to the Lions and the Rams. Reason why? Because damn right, Lions, you created some fog out there. You made things a little misty. For a second, there's everybody that was on the Lions money line, live money line. Everybody believed. You had everyone think you were going to get that first win. Jared Goff, I would say you won your Super Bowl. Congratulations. Stafford just gave love to you guys and said, keep fighting and doing your best. I really believe in you guys, when he could not be any more, I'll use your word you used there just a little bit ago, elated that he is no longer in Detroit. Speaking of masterclass, that is the masterclass. This is the one victory I'm giving the Detroit Lions. Good job, Detroit Lions. Way to go ahead and get a football dub on Sunday.
Let's get some fucking participation trophies. Jesus. So I'm not even going to touch that game. Good for you, Lions, and good for you, Rams. Like, God damn it. All right. Finally, we could be done with the Stafford Goff bullshit. We know that Stafford's better than Goff. All right. So I'm just going to do my disappointment because we have a special disappointment on Joe's end. My disappointment is the Panthers and the Giants. Now, why is this a disappointment? Well, you have Darnold, you have Daniel Jones, you have these quarterbacks that everybody was sucking their dicks during their drafts, during their quote unquote doing very well at the beginning of the season. Now they just suck. Who knew losing CMC and the Panthers offense would make the Panthers offense stagnant? Oh, everybody in the goddamn world. So let's just throw the ball to DJ Moore 12 times where he's double covered, and now he looks like a shitty receiver, and everybody's saying that. No, DJ Moore is a great receiver. Robbie Anderson sucks. I'm going to say Robbie Anderson sucks. He can't catch a cold in the desert. 0. So he fucking blows. Darnold blows. Darnold is an average quarterback. Darnold is an average quarterback. Now, the reason, and that's why it disappoints me, because I actually did like Darnold. I actually gave some stock into Darnold. We say the Gase thing. He's definitely doing better than he would with Gase and the Jets. Let's just get that out of the way now. But the defense has gone bad. Really what absolutely sucks about this is the Giants, how they won that game was just because fucking the Panthers defense just went to sleep. They went to sleep and Darnold threw passes, and that's what's going to be, because I'm just going to stop with my disappointment because you picked all the good games, and this is what I really wanted to talk about, your disappointment of the week, because I want to hear my man. We have my boy since, I don't know how long it's been, Kareem, but you're the biggest Titans fan I know, probably of all fucking time. And Joe has been talking really mad shit on your quarterback.
I've just been presenting facts, to be honest. Kareem, it's great to see you. Cute little background you have. You look adorable. I'm going to do this. Listen. Relax, Donald Trump. I'm going to be the presidential moderator, and I'll let Joe Biden and Donald Trump go at it. And I'm going to be like, the most Titans colors I've ever seen. It's fantastic. So, Joe, you go ahead, and then Kareem, you know what to do to rebuttal, because I'm done talking to this wall. I'm really done talking to the wall. Your turn. So. I mean, clearly you've never been a great student in class. As you know, Newt, as we discussed at the beginning of the show, you have 2 ears that you never used to listen.
Well, okay, Kareem,
we're finally having someone that hopefully...
You're done. You're done.
Hopefully knows how to have a conversation. Real quick before Kareem goes in, I just want to say a couple things. Number one, Kareem, I saw you come in there. I just did want to address news disappointment for one moment. Carolina Panthers, you killed every single parlay for me this week. You absolutely just busted me and cost me a whole bunch of money. With that being said, the Sam Darnold project is done. Chuba Hoobies,
CMC needs to come back. CMC needs to come back.
CMC needs to come back and maybe can push a win or two, and that's about it.
If you're a Carolina Panthers fan, donate a hamstring now.
But that's why, Kareem, I saw you came in, didn't say hi when you first came in. Thank you for coming on the show. We're happy to have you, man. As you mentioned on Instagram, you are happy to be part of class. You are going to go learn today from the tenured professor of hot takes. My disappointment of the week is, of course, the Titans and the Chiefs. let's just say, I mean, we told you 2 weeks ago, the Chiefs are an absolutely terrible team. It's basically like you guys barely beat or lost to the Jets all over again. It's essentially the same thing in my head. We can get to that in a moment whenever you're ready. It's essentially the same thing at this point as the Chiefs are clearly the worst team.
I'm gonna kill myself.
But all bullshits and bits aside, man, I'm gonna go ahead and tell the people before I let Karim go off. Number one, he told me in some pre-text conversations that Derrick Henry did not go off until Ryan Tannehill came on the team. That is absolutely incorrect. Derrick Henry did go off starting in 2018 after 2 years of injuries, then started to become what he became. Not only that, I believe that besides this game, when you did finally have, two of the best receivers of all time come back in your lineup, Ryan Tannehill 100% looked like a plug-and-play quarterback. You even admitted the Bills game helped my scenario, helped my argument with that. So you've already admitted defeat in a slight way, and I don't want to discredit you. I don't want to go ahead and take any digs at you early at all. So don't take that way, because that's not what that is. I'm not trying to discredit you, but I just want to put all that on the table before we let our wonderful guest, Titans insider Karim, go ahead. I won't interrupt like I do to my co-host on this show.
That's a lie. That's Cap. That's Cap. He's gonna do it.
All right, sir. So thank you guys for having me on. First of all, big fan of the show. You guys are awesome. Like what you guys have been doing for, what is it now? Like 2 years?
About 2 years, yeah.
Almost, yeah. It's been incredible. So thank you for having me on. So, geez, I don't know where to start with all that garbage you just spewed. I gotta find one. I have to find one point. All right, let's start with the most recent thing, right? You said the biggest disappointment is the Chiefs and the Titans. I don't really know how both can be a disappointment. That doesn't make any sense.
The Chiefs are my disappointment.
Hold on. Since we just trounced them off the field.
Just to be clear.
We trounced them completely off the field. Completely.
Again, one of the worst teams.
Okay, you can call Kansas City a bad team all you want. But last week was week 7. Through weeks 1 through 6, they were one of the most efficient offenses in the league. Sunday, they scored 3 points. No. It's not. That's what the stats. That's what the stats show. You got to go by what the stats show. Mahomes was leading the league in yards and in touchdowns, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So he was still playing very well. It's just the defense that was playing poorly, and I mean they stopped Derrick Henry on Sunday, and you know who wasn't stopped on Sunday? Ryan Tannehill.
I mean, A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, but yeah.
My boy, Ryan Tannehill. All right? Right. So now we go to your point of Ryan Tannehill as a plug-and-play quarterback. In order to hit those one-on-one deep shots to A.J. Brown, you need a quarterback who can put the ball exactly where it needs to be put. Your take is, okay, I can take anyone in the same tier as Ryan Tannehill or above him, put him on the Titans, and it'll be fine. That works with any tier of quarterback, right? If I go to the Buffalo Bills and say, yeah, if I put Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers on the Buffalo Bills, they'll probably be fine. It's the same concept that you're trying to say. Plug and play quarterback, it only works with those same quarterbacks in that same tier. So if you say, I'm going to give you Baker Mayfield who can't pass 15 yards down the field, that's absolute bullshit. It's not going to work. It's absolutely not going to work because A.J. Brown is going to be running the deep shot. Baker's going to underthrow it by 10 yards. It's going to be picked off, and the Titans offense is not going to work. He might hit the A.J. crossers, and A.J. then will go and take it to the house, but he won't hit the throws that Ryan Tannehill was hitting last week.
Listen, I mean, what secondary? What was that secondary ranked last week they were facing? Can you tell me? What was that secondary ranked they were facing?
Which secondary? The Titans or the Chiefs?
The Chiefs secondary.
The Chiefs secondary was probably dead last in the NFL.
They're currently, still ranked 32nd in the league, right?
Sure.
So That's a cute, adorable, once again, slightly biased take. Again, not trying to discredit you whatsoever. No, you made some good points. I'm not going to shoot shots at you like that. I won't tear it down. You did make some solid points. That is very fair. I think that there's an argument to be made that A.J. Brown is definitely taking advantage of a better secondary, and so was Ryan Tannehill. Those throws, well, yes, A.J. Brown had injuries throughout the year, you can argue, and throughout last year, where he wasn't getting those throws and wasn't really being the productive receiver that he has been for the last 2 weeks. I'll give it to you. It finally looks like he's rebirthed himself. I give a lot more credit to A.J. Brown where I do with that. Ryan Tannehill has always had that reputation, okay? I will give you, for having that deep arm, for having the accurate deep arm. I understand all of that, but let's also look at the same time, in college, so did Jameis Winston. Okay, so did Jameis Winston. How did that turn out? Derek Carr, same kind of thing. How is that turning out? These are plug-and-play guys, and when you have, I've always said the same argument against you that I'm going to use now, and same argument I used against him. There is a genius football mind that I know you wholeheartedly agree with me as a genius football mind that is leading that team of yours named Mike Vrabel. Now, yes, he is building that defense up beautifully because he is more of a defensive mind than an offensive mind. We know this, right? But he's also
on that. I'll let you finish, but I have a counterpoint on that.
Please, yeah. So, but with that being said, he's built this offense, and one of the best running backs of all time, which Newt said earlier on the show before you came on, one of the best running backs of all time, is Derrick Henry. There's no dispute there, Mr. 2000, right? And then you have arguably one of the greatest receiving corps put together of all time. I'm not gonna lie. I could probably do a couple great weeks in a quarterback. I could probably be 21-7.
Like Ryan. It's not as easy as you're saying it is, though.
You can't use that against Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill came into the offense. Marcus Mariota, yes, had athleticism, had this, had that. What the Titans are able to do with Ryan Tannehill is beyond measure of what you could ever do with Marcus Mariota. Ryan Tannehill has shown time and time again, especially last week with 85 yards rushing from Derrick Henry, which is a good – Derrick Henry, that's bad. To everybody else, I would love that for Najee Harris. I would love it. But the fact that –
Najee Harris has been doing that, and Ben hasn't really been producing. But, yeah, anyway.
Oh, we're going to keep talking because your team is in shambles.
Has nothing to do with the current conversation. Nothing to do with the current conversation.
15 times in the red zone, 0
Not
points.
relevant.
15 times.
Not relevant. Next point.
The two plays that I remember correctly, and I was like, damn, that's a nice throw, were to A.J. Brown. One was down the sideline where he had to put it perfectly because the defender was right on him, and the touchdown play. Both, yes, the secondary is straight ass, right, but he had to put the ball perfectly, and I know maybe a handful of guys who can make that throw. He was one of them that day. He made the throw. Plus, what he did to the Buffalo Bills defense, who is better than the Chiefs defense, how he cut them up, that's a whole different story, my guy. Like, yeah.
9 for 9 on his last 9 throws to win the game. Exactly. You do realize that Buffalo game was a nail biter, right? Like, if Tannehill doesn't do what Tannehill did, we don't win the game.
If Derrick Henry doesn't do what Derrick Henry does, you don't win the game.
Derrick Henry had his one long 76-yard touchdown run, but we scored 34 points on the best defense in the league. Derrick Henry had 176-yard run. The rest was Ryan Tannehill.
Yep. You're talking Bills game. I mean, did Derrick Henry have 146 yards that game and 3 touchdowns? What do you mean?
But, 3 touchdowns, but who got them down to the red zone?
Yeah.
Listen, 146 yards, 3 touchdowns, and arguably, do you win that game if Vrabel does not do what he does in the last minute of that game?
Do you
not win that football game if Vrabel does not do what he does in the last minute of that football game? No, but let's take it all the way back.
About the Rams.
I don't think we win that game without Ryan Tannehill.
I mean, okay.
Like, so, if that's Baker Mayfield, we don't win that game. Sorry.
So let me. I feel like we're bogging down.
I'm trying to counter your point of plug and play, and I'm disputing that.
No, and here, this is towards the plug and play, and exactly the point I'm going to make towards the plug and play is if you're bogging down on one specific game where, okay, yeah, he went 9 for 9, that's fantastic against the Bills. We all saw that
the game in the clutch. You want a great why Ryan Tannehill nugget here. Let me give you.
Since
Ryan Tannehill has joined the Tennessee Titans, he leads the league in fourth quarter or overtime comebacks.
I was going to say that.
With 13.
Exactly where I was going to go next.
I'm well aware of the stats.
13 leads the league. You know what happens in the fourth quarter and overtime when you're down? You throw the ball. You're not handing it off to Derrick Henry. You're not running play action because no one thinks you're going to run. You're throwing
I don't know if you're telling the truth because I can't see your eye line right now.
See, Karim, by the way, when he starts doing that shit, that means you got him, by the way. You know the show. When he starts talking shit about other things, you got him. Because you're right.
I don't agree at all.
In fourth quarter and overtime, yes, everybody knows who to stop.
Can I say my counterpoint towards my plug? I got halfway through my point.
I'm just proving his point too. Do you know what his completion percentage is without play action? It's actually up in the top 5. And everybody says, "Oh, it's top 5." AJ Brown Julio hasn't been
play action, but yeah.
Everybody could say Julio this, Julio that. No, and Kareem, you know this. Julio hasn't done dick.
He hasn't.
He's had 3 good games. He's had 3 good games the last couple of weeks.
He's had a hamstring injury. It happens. It's fine.
Right. So AJ Brown also hasn't done dick, but now is doing shit because they both are healthy again. So that points me because the last 3 weeks they've been healthy.
But they've been winning when he hasn't done dick, and everybody knows AJ Brown is the only guy to stop. Derrick Henry's to stop. You put A in the box and double AJ Brown, then of course, then everybody stops, right? No, Ryan Tannehill finds a way to win. That's it.
So if you want to look past the variable and you want to look past the Henry and you want to mention the Tannehill stats, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh, no.
This.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going to make final new point, and then we'll go ahead. We'll let you cap it off there, Kareem. But my final point with the plug and play, my ultimate defense, in my personal opinion, is very much this. Okay? And you said it yourself as your text. Don't make me read the text. I'll read those texts. Okay? I will bring out those texts. And you said to me that essentially the team would not be very different with a Derek Carr or a Baker Mayfield in here. Here's why. Let me elaborate why and defend my plug and play point. And it is this. It is because every mid-tier quarterback, which Tannehill arguably is, he's a 12 to 17 QB at best. Okay, 12, 17 pack at best. And yeah, you can throw the ball. You are one of the 32 quarterbacks in the NFL. Starting quarterbacks in the NFL. You should be able to. Okay. Not only that, you should ideally at least be able to have a standout moment, a clutch moment. Even RG3 looked good for a year in the league. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so you're going to have those little moments when you're in a great system with great players and great talent surrounding you and a great coach. You're going to go ahead and you're going to be able to get away with things that you could definitely not do on an Adam Gates Miami team. And you're going to be able to get away with things that you probably wouldn't be able to do anywhere else in a plug and play system. I'm giving all the credit. See, what you never give me credit for is I'm giving so much credit to Vrabel and that Tennessee Titans coaching staff and the talent they bring in. But I'm just saying they have so much talent. They were able to scapegoat a plug-and-play quarterback that is Ryan Tannehill, that any quarterback in the 12 to, 25 range could pretty much do the same.
No.
Then why didn't Marcus have success? I would have called Marcus the 28th
easily bottom of the barrel quarterback. He was bottom of the barrel.
He was about the 28th best quarterback in the league at the time. He's about the 28th best quarterback in the league. Okay. Why didn't he have success?
What did I say? 12
in 2 years. He got 2 years with Vrabel. Why do you have no success?
I think you'll tell me.
You tell me. Tell me.
Because you're the one who's saying plug and play.
Because he's the bottom of the barrel. He's not a guy that could transfer.
That's your argument.
He didn't, but again.
Vrabel didn't make the playoffs with Mariota.
I thought he did.
Very fair, but also you had AJ Brown come onto the scene at that time. You finally had Derrick Henry grown to what he was at the time. You had a bunch of talent added to the defense in 2019, which is correct as well. So I think that there was a lot of slated talent that was outside of Marcus Mariota, but Marcus Mariota just wasn't a good quarterback. That's why. It's plain and simple. He was, like you just said, he was a 28th bottom of the barrel QB. He was just a run guy that was not an accurate thrower, which you need to be a middle tier QB in the league. You need at least have accuracy, which those 12 to 17, 12 to 25 guys I'm talking about are. And when you're in that bottom of the tier, you're usually not accurate. You usually can't make those clutch plays that you need to game manage or plug and play and get you through a game. Yes, he can make a big play here and there. Yes, he can go ahead and get in those clutch moments, but it's built through what the talent surrounds him that he has.
So can I ask you a question?
You're talking about plug and play quarterbacks, right? You're a big Lamar Jackson fan, right?
Love
Lamar Jackson. Okay. If I take out Lamar Jackson from Baltimore and put in Josh Allen, are the Ravens the same team?
Listen, I mean,
plug and play quarterback.
No, they're not. It's a different.
Plug
First of all, those are the top two quarterbacks right there. That's not the same thing at all. That's not proving your point because those are two different styles of QBs. Tannehill is a plug and play style QB. They have clear 1 percentile QB attributes, both Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. So that's not a fair comparison at all. Where you have also that Tannehill does have that middle of the pack attributes. Did you not?
I will say that he is an average to above average quarterback. Yes.
Okay. And you'll say that Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen right now are top 5 quarterbacks.
I think Josh Allen is. We can argue Lamar a different day.
Okay, I see what we can't be a part of. That's fine.
I'm ready. That's fine. Because he knows. Because somebody with a brain knows that Lamar Jackson is not that good. Second,
do I read you that article I tagged you in that we had to have our little Instagram debate about noon? Do I have to go bring up that article?
I said their 3 wins have been fraudulent. 66-yard field goal, which will never be happened again. Fumble that's by the worst running back probably in the league.
I'm sorry. Wins are wins. Are wins not wins?
Like, couldn't hit water if he fell on a boat.
You know, some teams can beat the Jets. Some teams can't beat the Jets. See, that's all I'm saying. Some teams can beat the Jets. Some teams can't beat the Jets.
Some teams can beat the Bills. Some teams can't.
They barely beat the Bills, and they beat they couldn't win against the second worst team, and they beat the worst. What the fuck you say? No one can understand what you're saying. What are you saying?
I said, hey,
you don't know how to
speak. Titans beat the Bills? Yeah. Did the Steelers beat the Bills? Yep. So I don't know. I guess we're good. So
listen, Karim, you have a great team. Your quarterback's average. We can agree there. And we'll leave it there. Your quarterback's
above average. If you say above average, I'll agree.
Yeah, plug and play average.
12 is above average. There's 16. If there's 32 teams, 12 is above average.
You can actually hear me and hear me out. Like, unlike my partner, thank you for using both your ears. Knew this was a lesson towards you. Thank you for agreeing. He is a plug and play average quarterback. You didn't have to
Not plug and play. Not plug and play.
Titans. Go ahead, bet them. They're a great dog for the rest of the season.
Kareem.
You're welcome.
If you guys have Tannehill, do you own the Ravens like you do?
Say that again.
If you don't have Tannehill and you have like Marcus Mariota, whatever, do you own the Ravens like you do?
No, we need Ryan Tannehill.
Would you rather have Lamar Jackson right now?
Oh,
that's a good question. I'm not arguing Lamar Jackson isn't better than Ryan Tannehill. That's not the argument I'm making. The argument that I'm making is like it is difficult to be an accurate play action quarterback. You know, it's not that easy, right? Like it takes a certain set of skills that Ryan Tannehill has.
Listen, you're a longtime listener, and you do what my partner does at the end of every argument: takes out the shovel and digs his own grave. And you
I feel like I firmly won this argument.
I don't know what you mean. I have no possible idea.
Every argument he thinks he won.
Genius, mine, and Vrabel, and the best player to ever play the running back position, or at least top 5, and Derrick Henry, King Henry, Mr. 2000. And there's a plug and play guy that does a decent job of getting them there too. I said it doesn't help. I said getting him there too. I threw him in there. He gets him there sometimes too, kind of. But Baker Mayfield or Zach Wilson.
Enjoy being 5-2. What is your football team? 1-5? 2-4?
Listen, it's been great having you on, Kareem. We've really appreciated it. This has been a great segment. I'm glad you could agree with me that Ryan Tannehill is a plug and play guy.
If that's what makes you go to sleep at night, Joey. All right, I'll let it go.
It really is the only thing, so just let me have it.
Thank you so much, Kareem, for coming on the show. And
hey, man, it was fun talking to you guys. Take care.
With Joey, yeah, definitely we'll have you on again, and we'll definitely have some Eagles fans next time. So I'm going to open it up to some people, Joey, so you can have these arguments, and I'm just going to sit here.
Let's do it.
I think it's great entertainment. Everybody can go ahead and get chopped on down and face the guillotine and lose to the hot take tenure professor that is Joey Dewey.
But you lost.
I don't know what you
mean. He won't.
All right, it was fun, guys. Take care. I look forward to listening.
See you, Karim. I'll talk to you.
All right.
Great to have you on, buddy.
Take care, guys.
Woo. Well, listen, that was embarrassing.
We're not talking about it.
That was
embarrassing. It's going to be an hour. Let's just move on because you're.
We might want to edit that out for him a little bit. We might want to chop that down, cut some things out for him a little bit.
I'm not editing anything because that argument proved how dumb you are. Honestly, you kept going after the man's eye line and all of these different things, and that's how we know we won. So,
I don't know what y'all are talking about again. I appreciate Karim admitting defeat live on air. Cut it down for your boys' safety and sanity.
Enough. So, okay. So now we're going to our fantasy corner. Obviously, biggest news of fantasy, Davante Adams, unlikely.
For everyone wondering, I don't know when the bit ends and I begin either. For everyone wondering, I have no idea.
He is in constant troll bit mode. So I'm just going to try my best to keep the show going. Davante Adams, today, this episode comes out today, and this is Thursday. We're recording Wednesday. Davante Adams is not playing. Alan Lazar's not playing. So who do you try? I still bet on Aaron Rodgers. Keep doing it. The big trade that we talked about earlier, Mark Ingram to the Saints, where his career began. This opens up a lot of room in the Texans backfield. I still don't know who to pick, but we'll see what happens. As well as injuries still to CMC. He's not going to be back, so Hubbard still has another week. CEH is still on IR. David Montgomery is still on IR. And then obviously we like to keep an eye out for other injuries. Antonio Brown is apparently not going to play for a while. His knee injury is a little bit worse than what we thought. So it's Chris Godwin and Mike Evans' season. Open that up, boys. Open that up. But
I don't feel as bad for drunk dropping him now.
So Bob Gronkowski, though, is coming back. So he will have his safety blanket, him being Tom Brady. And the last piece of news, Antonio Gibson, still battling through that shin injury. It's apparent when you watched him play this season. So keep your eye out for McKissick. He might.
It's been obviously bothering him here, and he's finally addressing it. He's a half a weapon right now. If that.
No, he is a guy that I am disappointed in certain situations. But we keep moving on. So
you certainly tossed him aside like hot trash this week, didn't you?
No, I'm starting him. And why am I starting? Why would I not start him? He's still Antonio Gibson. He's still due for 2 touchdowns sometimes, so keep riding with the mans. But for our pickups this week, if you need a streamer, I am going with Daniel Jones. The man is going against the Kansas City defense. We did talk about it. The defense is not that good, and Daniel Jones is somebody that has been getting a little bit better each week. It is going to be a high-scoring game, so I assume he's going to pass the ball to whoever is on the field. But you keep pressing forward with that. Running back-wise, I am going with Rashard Penny. Rashard Penny did come back. Alex Collins did not look good. They might try Penny out one more time. Chris Carson's still far away from starting, so keep going. And then if this guy is still in your waiver wire somehow, Randall Cobb, we just talked about it. Lazard is gone, Adams is gone, and Cobb has had connections with Aaron Rodgers before. We remember that game where Chicago was up 21-0, and all the touchdowns went to Randall Cobb. So it could happen. Tight end, Robert Sweeney, the guy for the Buffalo Bills. Dawson Knox is out for 3 to 4 weeks. Josh Allen did look his way when Dawson Knox was out, the game against the Titans. Off a bye week, Sweeney is a guy that I'm looking forward to see if he can produce the same way Knox did. But again, tight end landscape is shit. And for my defense, I am going with my boys, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're either going against a hurt Baker Mayfield or a Case Keenum. Chubb is back, which kind of hurts me a little. But the reason why I say pick him up, because you can use him for the next 2 weeks after that. They play the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions at home. So there you go. You can use them for this week, swallow the pill, maybe get 6 points. But the next week should be juicy matchups. You'll be the toast of the town.
Yeah, especially when everyone's going ahead and abandoned that Steelers defense. Seemingly, I still have a little bit of faith in them. No troll, no bit aside there. You're welcome. See, I don't always do it. You're welcome. You're welcome. If you can't get Daniel Jones because he is owned in 39% of leagues, so there's a chance that he is available. But if he's not, listen, I'm not going to go any further on this. If you know who they're playing this week, you know who they're playing. Go get Teddy Bridgewater. I understand you're going to be a little bit trepidatious on that fact, but go check who they're playing. I'm not going to say who they're playing, but go see who they're playing. You're welcome. Running back, only 11.6% owned, was going to go ahead. And I'll tell your boy, right now, while you're listening to this, Karim, you killed it on the show. You're hilarious. I was just throwing bits and shits and gigs, and you did a great job at it. You argued great. He just texted me, turned it on too quick. Buddy, you killed it. You did a great job. Just want to let you know right now, you did a great job.
Turn it on too quick. I wish you turned it on faster. Fuck you.
You should have turned it off. Yeah, you should have gutted me way quicker. From the plan always from the jump was just to go to my main bit that I always do. So you did great, buddy. You played off it well. You made great points. Killed it. With that being said, someone who I think also might kill it, maybe not as well as Karim did, our Titans insider, but running back Samaj P. Ryan. Listen, he's still obviously being used in the mix with Joe Mixon, and he still wants to prove, hey, I can do this. Had a touchdown last week, has had a couple good weeks. He's averaging about 12 points a week. You need a streamer. Samaj is not a bad option, and he's likely available. Again, 11.6% owned. Next up, you have Khalif Raymond, who's starting to kind of become seemingly developed Newt a little bit as Goff's guy, Jared Goff's guy over there. I know it is a Lions offense, but let me tell you, Dan Campbell and the boys are going to keep fighting. They're going to give it everything they got. So shout out. I think Khalif Raymond is going to be a big part of that going forward. 7.1% owned. Again, don't say I don't give love to the Steelers. There is a guy who I think you might be a little excited about, Nude. You didn't really say much when I had him as one of my waiver wire pickups this week. Deeper leagues for now. Stay trepidatious, but I do think this guy, Pat Freeman, is going to go Freiermuth.
Okay, hold on. Time out.
I'll let you say your piece. I almost didn't choose him because I thought you might have a little say. You want to talk on Patty?
Freiermuth. And
Freiermuth.
The reason why is you are talking about the second best offensive weapon, third best, Deontay Johnson. I love you. Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris, Pat. The reason why I want Pat on the fucking field is because he fucking reminds me so much of Heath Miller, who could get those short yards. Put him out there.
So, New not at all getting emotional there, just mentioning he's having some flashbacks recently of old Heathy Heath. Who doesn't love yourself a little bit of Heath bars? Always good, always a great time. With that being said, yeah, I think I agree with Newt. I think Pratt does very much show flashes of that kind of old school tight end, and very much like a Heath Miller, a little bit like a boy on the Titans early 2000s, Jeremy Shockey. I think it's that kind of vibe as well. He gives me very much.
You get these random things in your brain. Jeremy Shockey never played for the Titans.
I said tight end for the Giants. You don't listen, bro. I said tight end for the Giants. You don't listen.
Wi-Fi sucks. It sounds like you said the Titans, and I was like, what are you talking about?
He reminds me of the tight end style of Jeremy Shockey, the boy from the New York Giants.
There you go.
I'm going to talk to my dad right after this about a Wi-Fi booster. I promise you, play it back. I never said Titans. With that being said, he reminds me and flashes those kind of old school tight ends, like a Jeremy Shockey, like a Heath Miller, like Newt said, who Jeremy Shockey played for the New York Giants. With that being said, my defense this week is a slew of options. I actually think there are a couple good options. One, and that is keeping Ryan Hill able to be the plug-and-play guy he is that beautiful Titans defense, as I already mentioned. They are playing the Colts this week. Listen, don't buy into the Colts last 2 weeks. This is not a great offense. Then after that, yes, Bengals. Bengals, I think we are all saying, is a good team. I guess Nude wants credit for originating being on the Bengals first, even though that's a team rival, so I don't understand that. Not a loyal Steelers fan. And then you have the Chargers, who are playing the Pats again. They played the Jets last week. Ignore the Pats 50 burger. I think they're going to do awful against a pretty damn good Chargers defense.
Didn't you concede to the Cowboys already? All right, that's what I thought. So now
I did.
Gambling quarter. So I can't concede to the Bengals?
I mean, you're trying to take credit like you're on them from the beginning, and I don't know.
I mean, all I said was be careful. That's it. And
I mean, I'm still picking him against the Cowboys every single time.
By the way,
the Bengals as a dog last
week. You're talking shit about my team. By the way, our 3 losses have been to the number 1 seed in the AFC, Bengals, number 2 seed in the AFC, Raiders, and number 2 seed in the NFC, the Packers. So I don't know what you want us to do. You want us to be a good team all of a sudden? No. So they're in the middle of the pack, like I said, and they're losing to good teams and winning against bad teams. Done. Anyways, gambling corner. Continue.
The gambling corner, my favorite segment of the week. Nude makes terrible points again that will just be ignored.
How is that not?
Gambling corner this week is
top AFC teams and the top NFC team. Continue.
A great game to start off the week, Nude. That is, of course, as you know, the Packers are going to see the Arizona Cardinals. Packers are +6 here. They are dogs. Now we know likely that is because the receiving core, everybody on that receiving core has COVID, a.k.a. Allen Lazard and Devontae Adams. I'm still going Packers here. In fact, this is my dog of the week. You know, I've been picking Packers all year. Yes, I've been picking Cardinals all year, but my dog of the week, I'm staying strong with the Packers. Love my Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays too. I know Pat McAfee show is a competitor, but Aaron Rodgers taking the money line, taking the over, which is over under 50. Nude, who you like, who you love?
I'm going to go with the Red River. I'm going with the Red Sea. Give me the Cardinals and give me the over. I know people are
you going Cardinals money line or Cardinals -6?
Oh, Cardinals -6. Dude.
Wow.
Doing all that.
Wow.
Also, J.J. Watt is out. But Chandler Jones is back. So their best defensive player is back. Time to rip it and dip it. You know how it is. Let's go Cardinals.
The ridiculous pick. I'm moving right along. We're going to go ahead. Miami Dolphins, Buffalo Bills. +13.5. Miami Dolphins are, for some reason, against the Buffalo Bills. Over under is 40. I just like saying ridiculous shit. The most ridiculous thing I can think of this show. I think that's my thing. I think that's always been my thing. Over under 49.5. Nude, who you like, who you love?
Give me the Bills, of course. They trounced them last time. They'll trounce them again. And give me the over because they're going to score so much. And Tua is going to score. Tua's going to score, but no.
Nude and Joe on the same page. We don't even need to discuss this game. Next up, Panthers are going, and the dumpster fire game of the week. Panthers are going to see the Atlanta Falcons. +3. The Panthers are, because they look like the worst dumpster fire here. Over under is 46. Nude, who you like, who you love?
I'm actually going to go Panthers to cover. I'm going to go over because it's going to be like the Dolphins-Falcons game that we just watched the other week. So I'm going to go over.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead, and this will be our second, and what I think after looking at the board this week, probably our only Nude and Joe on the same. Actually, you know what?
No, there's going to be a couple.
Yeah, I'll stick with my guns, and we'll go ahead and go Falcon. There will be a couple, so I will switch here then. We're going to go ahead, and we're going to go Panthers just because I'm not ready to give up yet. Maybe somehow they foresee him. No, it's not supposed to happen at all, but who knows? I'm going Panthers money line. I hate it. I'll just go Panthers +3, and I'm going to go over. I agree with Nude that it's going to be the same type of feel that it was last week in that Falcons-Dolphins game. Next up, we have the Philadelphia Eagles going to see the Detroit Lions in what is another dumpster fire game. Spooky. Sorry, I should not have done it. I could not have done it. I need dinner. A spooky Eagles-Lions game +3.5. The Lions are here. Are they going to finally get their first win, Nude? Who knows? Even though they did beat the Rams last week. Over under is 48. Nude, who you like, who you love?
Damn, I actually went back and forth on this game. But I'm going to go with the Eagles. I think the Eagles just have too much on offense, and the Lions just kick themselves in the dick every time. And I'm going to go under. This is going to be a forgotten game.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one to watch. I'm going to go ahead, though. I'm hoping Lions go ahead and get that first dub. I'm going under as well. We'll move right along. Did you give me Lions money line there? Or did you give me Lions +3? Or did you give me Eagles? I missed you gave me there. Sorry.
Eagles cover.
Okay. Next up, we got Tennessee Titans, playing fabulously with the genius mind of Mike Vrabel, the defensive mind, and King Henry, of course, chugging along. Ryan Tannehill. They are +1 here. That is for evident reasons because play quarterback against the Colts. How are they only they are dogs against the Indianapolis Colts? Take that what you will, but that kind of proves my point, Nude. Over under is 51. Who you like, who you love?
I'm going to be a cheat. I'm going to be a rat. I'm going to be eating that cheese. Give me the Titans and give me the over. I'm going to take the cheese. Give me the cheese.
On the same page. That will be our second one of the show. Next up, we're going to go ahead and have Rams versus Houston Texans. Interesting.
No,
I find it very interesting.
Stop.
No. I'm going to say. You think I'm going to pick them as a dog? I'm not. I'm not going to pick them as a dog. So that's where you think I'm going. I swear to God.
I'm saying I already know what you're going to pick. Let's just pick it and let's just move on. We don't need to worry about the Houston fucking Rockets.
I just want to say one thing that I think why this spread is less than what the Lions spread was last week is ridiculous. It's only more minus 14.5. Maybe that's because of how the Lions played and Vegas just tried to adjust to it. But it is only minus 14.5 here. Take the Rams. Take the over. Next game. If you want to really know the over, look it up yourself. Next game. Bengals. It is 47.5, but look it up yourself. Bengals versus that's the OCD dude. Bengals versus the New York Jets. I currently have it offline. Is
my God. Next. Just give me the spread. Give me the points. Let's just pick the Bengals, and I'm going to pick the under. Let's just move on. These games, I'm not talking about these games.
Bengals, give me the points, give me the over, and a shocking over. We'll move on. Next up, we're going to go ahead, and I had to refresh it here. I love you to death, buddy. I really do. Next up is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Console. I'm out.
You can't do we've done this every
tie. We say tie. We said we go with the tie, and that's it. Tie.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm picking Browns minus 3.5.
Good for you. Good for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Just doing my job on this show.
Next.
Say we're gonna do every.
I am not picking. I did not pick the last two times, and we fucking won.
Did I not pick the Packers last? Did I not pick the Packers?
We fucking won. No. I did not pick the last two times, and we won. So guess what? I'm a creature of habit. I'm not picking. We're gonna say a tie. Game over. Next.
Browns over. Next. Over 42.5. I didn't say it. 49ers versus Chicago Bears. -4. The 49ers are. Over under is 39.5. This is the lowest total of the year. I'm going to go ahead and I got to take it. When I see it this low, you know I got to take it. I hate to be a stoolie rider here, whatever. I know they're a competitor, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going over at 39.5. I am going Bears money line. This is my other dog of the week, Bears money line. So I'm giving you the Packers. I'm giving you the Bears. It's a NFC North love fest this week. Let's go ahead, Newt. Who you like, who you love. Again, Bears +4, over under 39.
If Jimmy G is playing, I'm taking the Bears. If Trey Lance is playing, give me the Niners, but over on both.
Caveat, as a good tracker, as I've been keeping up with our bets all season and been keeping good track of our record. Not to date that. There is a caveat that we cannot count that caveat. Unfortunately, it does not count towards points or towards. Moving on. Note for me when I go back and finally check this. Jacksonville. I know you got to go. I'm sorry, buddy. Jacksonville Jaguars next up against the Seattle Seahawks. There's a lot of dumpster fires this week.
Seattle.
Seahawks are over under 43.5.
Seattle.
Who you like?
Seattle under.
Seattle under. Seattle money line or Seattle -3.
Seattle cover.
Seattle cover and the under. Newt and Joe on. Actually, you know what? Again, I'm just feeling ridiculous. Again, maybe it's because I haven't had my dinner. Give me Jags. Give me the over. That's right. Give me the Jags. Give me the over. I'm on my cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs salad. That's right. I call it cuckoo for Cocoa Puff salad. Next game, New England Patriots versus the San Diego Chargers. The San Diego Chargers are -5. Over under is 49. Newt, who you like, who you love?
Give me San Diego to cover. And then give me the under, actually. I think the under.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go Patriots +5, and I'm going to go under as well. I am going Dog City this week, baby. Next up, Washington football team, named to be determined later date, but probably not, versus the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos are favored -3. Over under is 44. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Washington football team.
There it is.
Money line. And I begrudgingly take that. I'm going to take this under all day 44. My one under of the week, probably.
I'm going to take it.
Actually, last game was under too, so 2 unders of the week.
I'm going to take the under, and I'm taking your boys. This is
state love.
I'm going to take the under, and I'm going to take your boys. This is a statement game. Make a statement.
And just like that, Newt and Joe on the same page is back. We're back. Let's finish this show strong. Energy's back. Here we go. Love it, baby. Love it. Circus is back in town. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. +5.5. New Orleans Saints are over under is 50. Newt, who you like? Who you love?
Over in the Bucks.
We're going way there, and you're taking the Bucks.
Yep.
Newt and Joe fourth on the same page. Not a personal record, but we're getting high with the same pages. Next up, the 5-game line. Somebody heard us, but I don't know if he will or not. But there is somebody that I would love to have their opinion, although they make it a little sensitive. I don't think they'll come on. Don't worry about it. But Dallas Cowboys going to see. That is my brother Jake. He doesn't listen to the show, so it does not matter. Dallas Cowboys versus the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are +35. Newt, who you like, who you love?
Give me Dak and the boys if Dak's playing, and then over. There's a chance that Dak might not play, so we'll see.
Sticking to theme, sticking to standards, I'm going to go ahead and take Vikings money line. Next up, we are going to have the true dumpster fire game of the week, as Newt already mentioned. This is
over in Kansas City.
The New York Giants.
I don't want to hear it. Kansas City, get right, over. Kelsey, 150 yards. Tyreek Hill, 250 yards. Are you frozen?
You know what? They are back. That's right. They got it back. If this isn't the game, they're back, then.
Jeez, I think you're done, Joe.
If Gio announce Patrick Mahomes if they don't come back this game. If they don't win this game, if they don't make a statement this game, are you denouncing?
I can't. This Wi-Fi.
You like to say de-announcing Patrick Mahomes?
Are you? I heard the last part. No, I'm not gonna do you and go off
Am I back?
on the train.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're on.
Did you really lose me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, but no, I will not jump off the Patrick Mahomes train like you did with Lamar and come back and do this dance because I'm not a bitch. So that is the last part of our show.
I'm sorry, I never did that at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Again,
so,
I have no memory of that whatsoever. You continue to make
Karim for coming on.
We have one more game. Oh, wait, no, we don't.
I know the Monday night game. We like to thank our sponsors. As Joe is wearing stuck-up clothing, finest clothing money could buy on IG, Twitter, Instagram. Go look at their clothing line. They have a bunch of stuff online, new clothes, new everything. Seductions by Jax. Find her on IG, Twitter, Instagram, everything. Book now.
Do it.
So homecoming's coming. You know what to do. Get your hair done. Get your nail done for those moments in your life, as well as Eyesight Mobile Eyewear Company, the eyewear company coming to you. Follow them on IG. They have new glasses, new everything. That is Eyesight with an I. And this episode is sponsored by Smooth My Balls. Smooth My Balls. The tools you need down there for a great winter. Use 4CR20, the promo code, to take off your next purchase. The number 4.
There's hibernate. Your balls do not need to.
There you go. Yeah. And Joe is back in time with great connection to sign off. This is Face of the Franchise. Stay breezy, stay easy, and one love.
I'll get a Wi-Fi booster.
I God hope so.